Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I haven't posted in a while because October was a really busy month for me. I started my next year of university, I started a new job, I quit that job because I had a really shocking experience. So it was just a really hectic month and I really didn't get that much time to read. Today I'm just going to be doing a haul of some secondhand books. Most of them I got while I was away on holiday in September and I just hadn't got around to making a video. So the first book I got is a Penguin Popular Classics edition of Moby Dick. I love these editions, I think they're so cute. I like that they're smaller and also because Moby Dick is a book that I really want to study and read in depth. I wanted to get a secondhand copy that I wouldn't mind writing in, basically, no, I don't want to say trashing, but you know, I'm not going to mind if I write on the pages or whatever, dog ear it. I know people think that that's a crime, but it may happen. So I thought that this would be the perfect edition for that. And I've noticed that somebody has got a post-it note in here, but it's completely empty, which is a shame. I would have liked to see what they thought about this book. But yes, Moby Dick is a book that I've wanted to read for ages. I'm really excited to get around to it. I'll probably read it sometime next year, potentially early next year, because it's one of my sort of most anticipated reads, which I feel maybe is kind of controversial. I know a lot of people don't like this book and probably aren't as excited to getting around to reading it as I am. I know a lot of people seem to dread reading this because it's quite big and I feel it kind of has a reputation for being boring and very dry when it comes to its whaling facts. But to me, that just makes it seem so unique and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a lot out of this. I feel like the people who do read it and like it end up really loving it and really getting a lot out of it, and hopefully that will be my experience as well. So I'm very happy I found this. Next I have another Penguin Popular Classics, and that is Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. Earlier in the year I read Tess of the D'Urbervilles and loved it, but I also read, well, started reading Far from the Madding Crowd and DNF'd it because I found it really difficult to read, and also I just wasn't interested at all in anything that was happening in the book. So it's definitely one that I'm going to go back to and potentially read it along with the audiobook and see if that kind of changes my experience. And I think that having read Tess of the D'Urbervilles now, I feel like I will go into it with more of a positive mind and perhaps get more out of it than I would have if I just continued with it instead of DNFing earlier this year. I don't know much about Jude the Obscure other than I'm pretty sure I've seen quite a few people saying that it's really upsetting, which doesn't surprise me because Tess of the D'Urbervilles was soul-shattering. But it says, Thomas Hardy's last novel is focused on the themes of sex and marriage. The tragedy of Jude's struggle for happiness is intensified by the lack of opportunity for the ordinary man to improve his lot, despite the changes and developments of Victorian society. So hopefully I will like this just as much as Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which has become one of my favourite books that I've read this year. So next I have a new Penguin Shakespeare, and this is The Two Gentlemen of Verona. I really like these editions, I like the minimal design. I have a few other Shakespeare works in this edition and I like them. I know virtually nothing about The Two Gentlemen of Verona, it's not one that I see get talked about or mentioned very often. But this copy I have has been dog-eared throughout, which gives me hope that it's going to be a good one. I have to study Shakespeare for this year at university. I'm doing Twelfth Night and A Midsummer Night's Dream, so I'm really excited about that. I haven't studied Shakespeare for university yet, so it'll be my first chance to get to do that, and that's exciting. Then I have A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. I feel like this seems to be his lowest rated and least liked work, which doesn't necessarily fill me with hope because I feel like his works are already quite controversial in the first place. But I would like to read all of his works, so I thought I would get this. And this edition is really interesting. It has a portrait of James Joyce on the cover, which is very fitting. This copy is not in very good condition at all, so it might be one that I just read and then donate. Something else that is interesting is on the back it says, Joyce wrote the first draft of a work he called Stephen Hero between 1901 and 1906, but was dissatisfied and later rewrote and developed it. He partially destroyed this version in a fit of rage when it was turned down by a publisher, and again rewrote the work in the form in which it was finally published in 1916 as a portrait of the artist as a young man. When this copy was first published, it was 35 pence, which is also very interesting. If only it was 35 pence when I bought it. Even though this copy is in really bad condition, it was still £2, which hurts, but still cheaper than buying it new, so it's fine. Next I have Another Country by James Baldwin. I read Giovanni's Room earlier this year and it's one of my top 10, potentially top 5. I'll have to kind of look at my top 10 and see where it's gonna land at the end of the year, but one of my most favourite books I've ever read. It's just fantastic and James Baldwin's writing is so beautiful, so I also want to read all of his books. This is one that's been on my TBR and my mum found it and got it for me, which was really lovely of her. On the front it says, a major novel of love and hate between black and white, man and woman, man and man, complete and unabridged. This copy is from 1965, so very old, but I think it's actually in really good condition considering that it's that old, like especially on the spine. The spine is not gonna look that good after I've read it, I can tell you that one. The font and spacing in this book is certainly a choice, but I'm not gonna turn down a free book. Lastly, I have an amazing book that my mum got me recently, and that is this beautiful, beautiful book of Jane Austen's 7 novels. I only own Pride and Prejudice and Mansfield Park, both of which I've already read, so I'm very excited that I own all of these now. It's very heavy, so it's going to be challenging to read, but it's gorgeous. It's got gold-edged pages. It comes with an introduction, but I don't know whether it comes with notes. I'm gonna say it doesn't, but I could be wrong. Let me have a look. No, it doesn't come with notes. But even still, this is an amazing copy and I'm so thankful that I own it now. It's gorgeous and it feels really well made and sturdy as well, which I'm thankful for. So those were all of the secondhand books that have come into my possession recently. I should have another video out next week and hopefully be back onto a regular schedule of posting. So yes, I hope you enjoyed. I should have a wrap-up coming out and also a video of the books that I'm going to read before the end of the year. Potentially also a video about the films that I want to watch before the end of the year, because I'm also into classic films. So if any of you guys also are interested in classic films, let me know because I might start posting videos on those as well. But yes, thank you for watching. Goodbye.